Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. The Power is Within podcast. Glad to be here tonight. We have not been here for a while.
Yeah.
Probably about a month or so. Maybe 2 months now. We've been so busy working. The other businesses going to town. And the jobs just keep rolling in.
That's right.
Prosperity like a river. Anyway, tonight we're here to talk to my 4 sons. They've all had their first fight. Some of you've had a couple fights already. And we're going to talk about that, evaluate that, and see where they've been, where they're going, and what their plans are. So we will begin now. Let's start with you, Claude.
I had my first fight against that one kid.
Finally.
Yeah. I know. It took quite some time, almost like a year and a month or something, a year 2 months, but it was really, really good. Frank and I had the developmental bout, and that really,
You guys had,
and that was helped me a lot with getting more comfortable in the ring. And then Henry and I had a talk before I got into the ring, and I got warmed up. And as soon as I got warmed up, I was aggressive as hell against him. I was, throwing punches. As soon as I got in, I would throw a combination and get out.
Get the chat up there, Frank.
I did get hit a couple times. I did get knocked back, but I was really aggressive. I did what I was supposed to do, and it turned out really, really good. It turned out to be a lot of a better fight than I expected, so it was great.
I was disappointed they stopped it because I could have seen him stopping the first punch, but second round you were coming back and it looked like he's getting warmed up to me, and he was probably wore out. So.
Yeah.
That ref was he's the blood guy. He's the dude who doesn't like blood. He called Henry's second fight as well.
His nose was bleeding.
Towards the last
my bad.
towards the last couple seconds of the fight, whenever you zoom in, you showed me I was getting him mad with some hooks.
Yeah.
Ooh, they were hard.
game.
Getting him
Yeah.
right in the chin.
Yeah.
Caught him in the chin about 2 or 3
For
times.
sure.
Yeah, that was
So
that
how
was
did you feel at the end of the second round when the referee stopped?
After the second round, I felt pretty good. I was like, man, I want to go. Or you mean after the second round? After the second round, I was like, man, let me go in there one more. I was like,
Wait a second.
Turn on your mic.
It's on.
Yeah.
Oh, yours is on. Okay.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
ours is on.
You gotta
Well-
get closer.
Okay.
Yeah, what happened? They stopped it like right at the end of the second
At
round.
the
That's
end
when
of
he
the second
called
round,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck they stop it for?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not like somebody
But-
threw in the towel or something
I
like
know, you were
that.
starting to come on.
At the end of the second round, what's it called? I was like, man, I wanted to go the third. I wanted to finish him.
I think
Mhm.
you might have beat him if they let it go another.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had
You
like
got, you got
only one
part of
round,
that
I
last
probably
round of
ended
his
up
fight,
finishing
Frank.
Yeah, I would have finished it up for sure. But yeah, it was really good. The first round, I was dreading the first round, and then the second round, I was like, okay, time to start putting
Let's
more work
put the
in.
gas on,
Be
yeah.
more aggressive. If I get him in the corner, just start, putting combinations together, throw one after the other.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
So yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Weren't you looking at the chat? Oh. Yeah, no, I liked your fight. I really did. And it was funny. It was like we knew who you were gonna go up against because you were supposed to go up against him at one point, weren't you?
One
time before, right?
I
But
was
what had
supposed to go
happened?
up against him.
I think the event got canceled.
Yeah,
Oh,
the event
okay,
happened,
okay.
yeah, canceled. Yeah.
That was okay. And then you guys finally ended up
Oh yeah, you're right. He was
Yeah.
supposed to go up against.
because
him,
I remember I'm
yeah.
looking him up and showing you. I'm like, hey, dude, it's him. It's him.
Yeah,
It's him. Because I'm like, every time you guys are gonna fight somebody, I usually go and do my research. I don't show you guys, but I go and do my research.
for sure. Yeah, when I seen him, I'm like, that's probably who I'm gonna go up against. And then you told me, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's who I'm going up
Yeah.
against. I seen him practicing his 2, the overhand 2. I seen him practicing that. I should have looked out for that. I was getting caught with it a couple times, but it was pretty good. I won't lie though. Even when he was hitting me with them, what cracked me up was that he couldn't knock me down.
Yeah,
I can tell he's
he's
putting a lot of power towards those
Coach
punches.
is like, knock him out. He's like, I can't.
Yeah, he's having a hard time trying to knock me down with those.
You got it or no?
What? No, I don't have that. No.
Oh, he doesn't have that clip, I guess.
No,
of the-
not the ending. No, I don't have that.
Or you didn't get the last second
No,
round?
no. I just got clips out of a bunch of rounds. Just
Oh, out of
random rounds.
random
like
clips.
Parts of whatever round it is.
Did you ever get
Yeah.
the videos of?
I had the videos, but I lost them. I'm pretty sure Dan, you still got the
I've
videos?
got the video.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you send them to me.
We'll have to do that in part 2 of this episode.
Oh,
we
yeah,
will.
for
Like
sure.
we'll
Yeah.
go and.
Well, I have a
explain
fight
little
this weekend, so maybe we can, or next, this coming up weekend. So maybe after that we can
more. Double down with
yeah,
a
and then
extra
we'll
What's
discuss.
your
Yeah.
plan, Claude?
What's my
Yeah,
plan?
what do you plan on doing that year?
Well,
Not for a while because
yeah, for a while, I'm just gonna, work on, moving my head a lot more, keeping my feet up, getting my feet a lot stronger and staying a little bit more heavy on my left foot than because sometimes I stay heavy on my right foot, then I end up leaning forward with
Mhm.
punches. So I'm gonna start working on that, and then after I recover and I get a fight, I'm gonna know what to do. So
hopefully it won't take another year before you get
Right,
Yeah.
no, that'd be tragic. But hey, that'd be another year preparing you to be even more of a killer.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It just seems like it's so hard for you guys to get fights as compared to when I fought.
yeah. But what's it called? With all that time I had to train, and going to sparring and all that, even though I hadn't gotten that fight, when I did get that fight, I really felt prepared.
Yeah.
So, that's just a
For
couple
sure.
more weeks to be ready for
Right,
the next opponent,
Right.
know.
For sure.
Gonna be in the
For
danger.
sure.
Yeah, gonna have to put him in the danger zone.
Yeah, you already
Have to
know.
work on it.
Hell yeah, for sure.
How about you, Frank? What are you gonna do? That's our cameraman here.
Frank had his first fight the same day Claude had his first
Yeah.
fight as well, actually.
What's the question? Oh, what am I gonna do? Like,
Yeah, tell us about your fight and what your plan is.
So for my first fight, my plan was just to be the not the aggressor. I was planning to just stay myself in the middle, keep myself in the middle, and just play distance. But the kid I fought against, he was obviously a little bit. He had lankier arms than me, so he was able to keep me from going in on him because I had to switch my plan mid fight because my plan was to just stay in the middle of the ring, keep control of it. But the kid was longer than me, so he had the middle of the ring more times than I did, and he was able to control the middle. So I had to switch to the aggressive side and try to push up on him more and try to be more aggressive towards him. But his arms were so lanky, it's hard to be able to be aggressive because.
So you got the clip from your fight here? We
Yeah, I
can-
have a couple of them.
They had like the mirror image,
It
like
was insane.
Yeah.
same
they're
type
very
of fighting
similar.
style.
Hand
Exact,
up.
yeah.
They were both counter punchers trying to
Yeah,
fight.
counter
each other.
punch-
Yeah,
yeah, it's
trying to find
hilarious.
something to counter each
Yeah.
other with. It was
Yeah.
cool. It was awesome.
Who was what was his name again, Frank?
I don't
Something
remember.
Alexander.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
one of the.
His father's a 3-time world champion or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But what you know
yeah,
about
his
it?
His dad was David Alexander.
David
Yeah,
Alexander.
that was
There
his-
you
Yeah,
go.
we were just talking about that with
Yeah.
our coach.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Let me-
How'd you feel, Frank, whenever
Um,
you first got in there?
no, I was nervous at first, but once I started going towards him, all the nervousness went away.
And Frank's in the red trunks. Mhm.
So here, in this part, I started pushing towards him a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was
And then,
good.
but he kept his distance the whole time.
Yeah. He was able to. I could tell he was able to keep himself from getting up against the ropes. If you would have been able to get him up against the ropes, you would have been able to put the.
Beginning here, I hit him with 2 clean shots, and then he started like backing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he's not letting himself get up
Yeah.
against
Yeah.
the ropes. So
So short. You
I have another one. Hold on.
need to make clips a little bit longer. And it gives a chance to kind of quick. Doesn't give us a chance to really. You can make them 15 to 30 seconds. It'd be better. Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to see from over here. Okay, so here's another one. This is where I caught him with 2 super clean shots, and he got dazed a little bit. He started backing up a lot after this.
Tragedy, huh?
Nah, no count.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
This is where I catch him.
I did go like hard.
But I thought it was. Oh, maybe it's
Yeah, you hit him back.
yeah, it was
first
back
time.
there when he was up against the ropes because he wrapped
Yeah.
you and he was trying to get you off of him.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Going against that kid was kind of hard for me because I'm not used to lanky people running away.
Well, that's what he was trying. He was trying to keep you away because he had more reach than you. That's what they usually do.
That's the only two I got from me.
Yeah. Okay.
Claude has more. And Mark has some. Henry has some too.
You got one of Claude's?
Yeah, I have videos of Claude.
But you don't know what round it is, or
No.
well, go ahead and pull it up here. Let's see it.
Yeah, we're gonna play those.
Probably make them a little. Like I say,
I
you
think
gotta make
Claude's
next
are
time.
long.
Let's make them a long.
Quads are
ones.
full rounds, I think. So are mine.
The clips are full rounds.
Mine are.
No.
Mine
Cut
aren't.
them down. You can't send the full round. This one's a Claude. Hold on.
Oh, this is the second round. I imagine if I posted it.
I have a headache.
This one's Claude.
I didn't drink enough water before I started sparring earlier.
Yeah, how about you guys let the audience know while Frank's getting that figured out what you guys actually did before you guys got here to do the podcast?
Yeah. I went to sparring. I sparred. Most of the guys that I spar are always bigger than me. I sparred a southpaw that was up there, and then I sparred one of the pros who he's about to have a fight coming up, and the guy that he's fighting is actually the same weight as me, so he wants to try to get more rounds in with me because I'm quick and snappy.
Yeah.
So is it an exhibition or is he actually having a
A
pro,
pro
fight?
fight.
Oh,
Actual
is
pro
he
fight.
dropping down to that weight or what?
He's dropping down to 147, I think.
Ryan down at 147?
Yeah. Is that Bailey?
It is.
Yeah, this was the second round for sure.
Oh yeah, see, Claude's driving him
That's when
back.
I
Yeah.
really started putting in the pressure.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I know. See, that's what I was really aggravated that the referee stopped it because you were coming on this.
Yeah,
second
no,
round.
and that was because we were sitting there. You see, he's sitting there trying to slip stuff that
Mhm.
Claude really timed it very well.
Yeah, see,
The
yeah, he's putting
second
the
round,
beating in,
I was
yeah.
insanely impressed. And like you said, Dad, I was really mad that the ref stopped it.
Yeah, and he was gassed too. Like you could see because he was putting his arm like at the end of the first round, he had his arms
Yeah.
on the ropes and he was gassed.
Well, coach,
Yeah.
that's obviously the second round, right? That had to be the
Yeah,
second
when
round.
I seen his arms up against the ropes, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like he's
Well,
getting gas.
That's whenever coach, she had actually told us that we should have let him know that you're like a chronic bleeder.
Yeah,
Because every
yeah,
time
that's
now
true.
we're gonna have to let the referees
yeah,
know
no,
so
they
that
called.
because they did just
Frank.
it was Claude's first fight.
yeah, I had completely forgotten about that.
It was
I didn't know I was a chronic bleeder. Could have gone the third round.
yeah, I think so. I think it would have. I honestly do. I think it probably would have went the whole third round, but
It was good. It was a really good fight. I really liked it. My first fight, I was
no, it was good. It was really good.
I was like a beast in there.
Yeah, no, you did good. The first
Yeah.
round was. I liked the first round too, just because really you guys were filling each other out. You did take a couple, but then after that, it was over with. You knew
Yeah.
exactly what to do. The
Yeah,
second
I
one.
really started to notice how quick my punches
Yeah.
were. They were pretty fast.
Oh, I'm looking at you. I'm like, get in there,
Uh-huh.
and you sure as hell did.
Yeah, I know I needed to get in there, and because keeping my distance, I was gonna get hit because he had a little bit more reach than me. So I knew I had to close.
But
the
when you
distance
cut that
against him.
down, you cut his reach down
Mhm.
by pushing him up against the ropes. It
Yeah.
was great. I loved it. It was awesome.
He had a hard time moving around. He was getting out, but
I wish I would have had a little bit more time to get home to give you some of the sparring clips that I have because they're pretty good. I'm a lot snappier, a lot
Well,
quicker.
yeah.
Like I said, we'll do a part two. You said something about doing a part two of this one
Yeah,
after your
and
fight.
then, yeah, we
and
could
with
do it
your-
after my
A
fight.
lot
Yeah.
of distractions today. I have guys putting a roof on here today, and a lot of things going on.
Mhm.
yeah, for sure, it's been a busy day.
Been a busy week. It's been a
But
busy month.
regardless of my fight, Mark, you had your first fight.
I
Let's
did.
talk about that.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting feeling.
Yeah,
I'll tell
Oh
you.
yeah,
what.
it's really when you get
It
in
was-
there, it's something else.
It was like nothing I've ever felt before. And you see, you can go into a street fight. Street fight does not feel like that. You
Oh,
get a little
yeah.
nervous. You
Yeah.
get nervous. It's like, oh, meet me here. We're gonna fight. You're like, oh, okay, shoot, all right, we'll fight. But that was even worse because it was like anticipated
Yeah,
and even
yeah.
more.
Well, and
more.
the thing is too that that guy is a trained fighter as well. Like compared to somebody you're gonna fight on the street, you're
Yeah.
thinking, oh, this dude probably can't fight with a crab. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, for sure. Well, that
So-
was okay. So my thing was, apparently he had 2 fights and he lost both of them. Apparently, which I can't even lie. Hearing that, I'm like, oh crap, he's been in the ring before, so he probably
Yeah.
doesn't even have like he ain't even gonna be shaking. He's gonna be staring straight at me. You know, I really was scared at first whenever I thought about the whole situation. But then on the way there, I fell asleep in the car. I was pretty relaxed. I got out, got my hands wrapped and everything. We got there, got my hands wrapped and everything. And it was going pretty good. I actually was not nervous at all until the gloves got put on my hands.
Uh-huh.
Once they got put on my hands and then the tape, literally the smallest things were the things that made me
Oh yeah.
that made me like freak out was
Yeah.
just like the tape went on. Ain't no backing out now.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I guess
yeah.
technically you really could if you wanted to, but there was no backing out. I was like, all right. I was like, this is it. Well, and then the kid walked past me and I was like, just something told me, I was like, that's him. So he had just a tiny bit more reach than me, but for the most part, he was a little bit taller, but he weighed less than I did. I actually weighed in at like 145 or 140 or no, 135, my bad. 135.
He weighed in.
He weighed 131.
Yeah.
That's what he weighed in at. So, and so we got in. The most adrenaline that has ever been pumped through my body was as soon as my foot stepped on that ring. It just like I went in and I'm like, oh my God. And I kept telling Claude, I was like, bring that bucket because I might throw up.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I straight,
yeah.
I was so nervous. I had just eaten there and I had fasted for so long and I was just drinking water because I was trying to cut weight too,
Yeah.
which, you know, it wasn't smart that I gained the weight so quick. You know, and I know now better, but I had to sit in the sauna before I went and fought him. And then I couldn't eat until like an hour. And it was supposed to be 2 hours before, but it ended up being like an hour and a half. So I had all that food in my stomach and I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, we're in the ring. So I get in there and, you know, really, in my opinion, it's like whenever I got in there, I was like, all right, this is also a game of intimidation. If someone feels like smaller in this ring, you know, is most likely to lose. So I just sat there and just stared at him and he stared back. And afterwards we talked, I was like, I really respected that. That was great. But I stayed still. I've always seen you guys. Like rock for all your guys' fights. I seen you guys rocking back and forth. I was like, what if I just stand still? I was like, it might look like I've been in the ring before and like I'm not nervous. So I sat there and just stood still and just stared straight at him. And we had a good stare off right there. And then boom, ding, ding.
That first.
And it's like, all right. And coach said, be first. I'm like, I already knew this. Immediately, triple jab. Ba, 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 ba. Went in there, caught one on the way in, but got him. And then we just started brawling. It was so fast.
Yeah, within that first 10 seconds, you guys were
It
just
exchanged.
I know when I watch you guys, sometimes it looks like somebody speeded up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought on your fight that
It was sped up.
Yeah.
But I'm
Just
telling you, once you
double
get that
speed.
adrenaline pumping, and especially in your first fight, your hands just
they
a different
move,
type of speed that nothing that you've ever even seen in the gym.
Well, you even told me afterwards, you're like, I've never seen your hands. I didn't even. So like, okay, it didn't feel like they were moving that fast.
Yeah.
And you do go into this like just straight instinct mode. It's
Yeah.
like, take his head off or he's coming for yours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he hit me one time and they didn't hurt. But what happened was he was punching me. He was even faster than I was. He was punching me a bunch. Like, and it just felt
punches and bunches.
And yeah, it felt so overwhelming. And I'm like, there's no way he is this fast. Cause I've never experienced that kind of speed. Like even when we sparred in the tire and stuff and everything, it was fast, but that guy just had this different kind of speed to him. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So the first round goes by and I sit down and I straight tell coach, I'm like, I can't do this. And she's like, shut up. Don't shut up. I'm like, okay. And she's like, shut up and breathe and get back in there. I'm like, I can't. She's like, quit saying that. Stop. Shut up. She's yelling at me.
She was talking to me. She's like, if he can talk, he can get back in there.
Yeah. And then, and she was right. So then I got back up. I was like, all right, sit still. I'm like, and I made the mistake of holding my breath.
Yeah.
The adrenaline is just,
Yeah.
it's just, I was talking to Henry and Claude telling them about how it felt like this really weird, like warm numbness, like almost like when I broke my arm, but all over my body.
Yeah.
And it's just, your body's just going. Cause at that point I wasn't thinking triple jab. I'm just thinking get to him and beat his, you know what I mean? So I ended up the second round. I gassed out. If I would have went that second round, I think I would have passed out. It just didn't, I just couldn't breathe.
Yeah, it's just
I
it's
held
a
my
lot.
breath, and just the whole week prior to that was just absolute. It was a test, you know what I mean? The whole week before that was a whole test. And so I kind of like, you know, me and coach talked about it. I kind of just ran out of fight. You know, if I had a week where I was fully concentrated, I truly feel like I probably would have been able to finish that go in there and finish that third round. You guys all told me, and even including coach said that if I would have went that third round and just dug deep, I would have won.
Yeah.
I could have possibly won. Because I mean, it was
really good. You were exchanging really good punches. Yeah, he was hitting you, but you were hitting him back enough times to where it was about even.
Yeah,
it was
well,
equivalent.
The thing was about it, it was kind of like Claude's first fight. Like, I didn't know what to expect. Like, you know, like all of your guys' first fights, like I didn't know what to expect. So I just every single time I had such great experience from watching you guys, I just heard coach and I just knew be first. I just knew that was the main thing, be first. So I'm like, I ran. I pretty much ran at the dude and just started jabbing. That was like, all right, this is what I need to do.
Yeah, the one thing that makes it really intimidating is as soon as you get in there, the one thing that makes it less scary is you have to know that it's your domain.
Yeah.
That's your prey. Like, he's entering into your domain.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it was so nerve-wracking. I mean, like I said, after we exchanged punches and everything, and I really felt like whenever I never got in the corner. I got put up against the ropes once, but whenever I was like this, it felt like the punches were coming at just 100 miles an hour. I felt like that being right there in the ropes felt like it lasted way longer than what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't watch my fight the first day after.
He was throwing a couple wide hooks. I think if you would have thrown an uppercut, you probably could have.
Of course.
Even
And
a straight jab would have just stuck him and he might have stumbled back.
Yeah, and the thing was, like, he was hitting me with numbers. I was hitting him with power. So the ones that I really was landing, I could feel them. I knew, I'm like, all right, that landed. So I'm like, all right, I need to get out. I just knew coach told me, like, pressure him, get out. Pressure him and get out. And
if you can't drop him numbers.
Exactly. But like I said, I just felt like I had no more fight in me. It was just, it was a long week. It was a long week of training.
It's hard. That's why they take champions away from everybody for 30 days. Get them with the wife, their kids, any kind of, because that's part of getting in shape for a fight is being able to handle the pre-fight nervousness and all the stress that goes along with it. Because no matter how many rounds you work out in the gym, it's different in front of people. It's the whole nervousness of the day before, the week before, the hour before. All that is what you got to be able to learn how to get in shape for that.
And that was tough. I mean, like I said, unexpected, but it was a good fight. I didn't watch my fight the first day afterwards. After Henry convinced me to watch the video, I'm like, why did I not do that third round? You know, obviously, you live and you learn, and I'm going to continue to work harder, and I'm going to get better. And this next fight's going to be.
The guy told you what he said. He's glad that.
Yeah, he said that it was glad that we got called because he said he didn't know if he could even do that third round. I'm like, well, if I would have known you felt the same way,
why didn't you tell me?
Right, you should have said I'm done. And you know, honestly, after watching the video, I didn't look tired, and he's up against the ropes over there. I'm like, why did I not look at him? Why did I not take that?
Yeah, it's hard to think about it. Yeah.
Exactly. I wasn't thinking like, oh, let me look over at his corner. I'm just like,
see, that's normal. I don't know how many times I've done a race or done something. I look back and think, man, I could have done more.
Yeah.
I wasn't as tired, but at the moment it's pretty tough.
Well, yeah, and like I said, my plan is really just to get in the gym, do more conditioning. I hurt my knee running, so I have to do conditioning in the pool. So that's 2 weeks that I have to do this, and hopefully I'll be able to get back to running. But other than that, I'm still training. I'm still in the gym. I'm trying to be there every single day, and that's you know the role.
There? Yeah. Is it short or is it long? Or? This one might be short. Well,
he made sure he got the part where I was getting beat the most.
I told him to put the ones where you get hit. Yeah, took the most hardest punches.
Yeah, that place was pretty neat. It was
a
small place.
Dang, even after getting beat up today, I still look pretty on the camera.
You know what's funny? It was one of the times he tried to, whenever we were fighting, I don't know if it was the first round, but he tried to grab me. I'm like, no, you can't grab me. And like I said, I really wish I would have been able to. It comes with experience, but I wish I would have been able to analyze that. Like, oh, he just tried to grab you for a break.
When Kirk was my corner, what he told me is, if you want to keep yourself from, a person wrapping around you, you keep those elbows in.
Yeah.
It's so much harder for them to wrap
Yeah,
around you,
100%.
And then like if they wrap around you like that, you can just,
Yeah.
shoom,
My
slip-
defense
slip
was
back
pretty
and
good,
step
so
back and
my face didn't get. I never got hit once straight in the
You
face.
never got stunned. did
No,
you?
Yeah.
not once.
There you go. It's a little blurry. I don't know why.
I'm the one with the purple shoes.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. It's nothing wrong. You were throwing.
Yeah,
the
you had the red
punches.
gloves. Yeah, you were going in. You know,
Check it out. I mean, you're gonna be tired throwing that many punches.
Yeah, I mean that was. But the thing was, after watching it, I'm like, I don't know if that was the second round or not, but I'm like, I have to do something to this dude because I do not know if I have that third round in me,
Yeah.
But as soon as the adrenaline wore off, I don't think I've ever thrown up as hard as I did in my life.
See, some people get sick when I. Never
Oh,
did, but
it
I
was
know a lot of
like
people
it
do.
was like what they say. Like people say, like, oh, if like when you shoot, like a police shoot somebody for the first time, they throw. I was okay at first, and then I'm like, Claude, get me the bucket. I've never even, when I was drinking heavy, I've never even threw up that hard off of that. It was a different kind of I don't know how to explain it. Afterwards,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I felt so much better, but it was like, holy crap.
It's it has a lot to do with the adrenaline, but the easiest way to control that adrenaline and everything is like breathing.
Yeah,
Breathing helps a
100%.
lot. It kept me from feeling sick.
Well,
and
that
controlling
second
my
round,
breathing.
I remembered Henry telling me, harness that scaredness that you
Yeah.
have.
People, well, that's the thing, because when you're afraid and you got butterflies in your stomach, that's when you're at your strongest.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they let that fear consume them. But if you learn to hone that and embrace it when you're in the ring, you'll know that you're stronger than the
Yeah.
other person.
Yeah.
They have that fear too, but a lot of people just let themselves be consumed by it.
Yeah.
You have to just accept it and embrace it.
Yeah.
And that's the best way. And then you use that
What do
as
you got
power.
here? What do you
Use it
got here,
against
Frank?
us.
Oh, okay. Well,
This is
whatever.
probably the first round, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like it because it looks like the dude's stepping down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that was the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Man, look how fast they're going. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
guys
be
see-
tired throwing that.
Yeah,
many punches.
it's funny because
And this is the second round. Oh, no, that's the first round. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, shoot, see, it's good.
Yeah, you can tell with his jab, he's trying to keep you away. He
See,
can't.
you were
Yeah, he
outpoint
was.
He was hitting you
combinations.
like with a jab, but you were outpointing him because you were landing more than
But
he
in
was.
my mind, I wasn't doing like I didn't feel that because
Yeah.
he was like it seemed like everyone that he threw he was actually hitting me
Well,
with.
no matter how much he was
Yeah,
trying
but
to,
that's the way it feels.
It
I always
feel-
felt
yeah.
I always felt like I was getting. the
But
crap
I
beat
just
out of me.
I almost wish somebody would have been like, you're doing crazy good, like it's just because it just serious. I mean, even then, I don't even know if that would have made a
Probably
difference.
not.
But what I'm saying is, like, after I watched the video, I'm like, I was throwing the hell out of those punches.
Yeah.
That's why I was tired, is because I was throwing every single punch combination that I possibly
You know,
could.
and
Good straight punches. too.
Yeah,
They
in
were
that video
wild.
when he's throwing those jabs, you could. It's almost like in the body language, you could tell he's getting a little overwhelmed because
Yeah.
he thought that jab was going to keep you away. But even though you
But
were
you
getting
kept
hit with
pushing,
the jab,
put pressure. Yeah,
I've
you
had
kept
you
them
kept putting the
jabs.
pressure forward. Yeah, it was a bit overwhelming for him. you
Yeah,
know?
I guess I don't know. I guess I was expecting myself to be Canelo in there or something,
Yeah.
slipping every
Yeah.
punch or something. You
Or
know
like
what I
me in
mean?
my
Like-
last fight.
yeah,
But-
no, I mean that
the
was
first round.
yeah,
But then
that was
that's the thing for me. My last fight, the first round, I was slipping a whole bunch because I was like, okay, he might have some power. And then when he finally hit me, I was like, oh, ain't nothing. So I quit slipping.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
started getting hit with some bombs.
yeah. Well, he
I'll say one thing: when Claude in his first fight, it was tough for me to watch the first round because he took so many punches.
yeah, no. But after that, whenever I talked to Claude, I was like, "You good?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, he's good." I'm like,
It's like
"Get-"
I had the same deal. It took me 2-3 years to learn how to roll. I'd take a lot of punches, but like him, I'd start coming on the second round. In my first pro
Yeah.
fight, I lost the first round. Second round probably wasn't much better, and I came on and knocked the guy out in the third round.
Yeah, it's like
That's why it frustrates me because he's
Uh-huh.
a lot like me, and they
Mhm.
stopped it. And it's like,
It,
and the more
yeah.
I watch, I'm like, why in the hell they stop it?
Yeah, and I just started.
Yeah.
I just really started getting
Jeez.
warmed
And,
up.
and
like,
you
I was-
were,
I was
yeah, I
getting
know.
ready.
Afterwards, I was like, "How do you feel?" It's like, "I could go another round." I'm like,
Yeah.
I know you could have. It was
just takes
it was
a while to
definitely
get going.
disappointing. Like, but like now we know, like literally to let every ref know, like, hey,
Yeah,
he
he's
bleeds,
a bleeder.
He
yeah,
bleeds. So
yeah.
Yeah,
like let it slide. You know, I mean, if it looks like he's choking, obviously stop it. But Claude's just like, you know, the 8 count he got, he's sitting there straight up, not
Yeah.
tumbling around.
Either one of the 8 counts.
No.
Yeah, I didn't lean forward. I didn't lean back. I was standing straight with my
Yeah.
gloves right here.
Yeah.
You know,
See,
right,
they'll
waiting
give you
for
an
him
8
to-
count for a bloody nose. They also give you an 8 count for if you're not returning
Yeah,
punches.
yeah. Well, what I got, that was what happened to me. I wasn't returning punches, and that's why I guess it felt like it was forever, because I was like, "Oh, you got to be in there forever for them to give you an 8 count." And I'm like sitting there like this. I was like, "I'm good, you know." And then we kept going, but it would happen 2 times. And even when he had me like this, he was just on my sides. He, like I said, I never got hit in the face.
Did you get an 8 count in the second round?
Yeah, the second round I got.
See, and that guy was
Yeah,
they were yelling, "Get off the road!" He was
Yeah.
like, "He's wore out."
yeah. Well,
man.
and I seen that in the video, but afterwards I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
and like I said, now I'll know to kind of, you
Yeah.
know,
He was
you look, and
exhausted.
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And like I said, we talked, and he's like, dude, you're a hell of an opponent. I'm like,
Yeah.
likewise. I was like, you're fast. And then he goes, how long have you been training? I'm like, about 6 months, maybe 8 months. He goes, no way. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, how long have you been training? It's about 2.5 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. So
Mhm.
like Henry, I think Henry or Claude said it, coach has taught us things that, what was it, that she has never taught anybody
She
else.
has taught us things that no coach has ever taught our opponents.
Yeah.
There are things we are learning that they're like your opponent's coach. He doesn't know about that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, right. And I mean,
know?
even sometimes we'll see some of the other, you know, no disrespect. Everybody works hard in the boxing, you know,
Well, some of
committee,
those
but
guys just don't know.
but-
Man, they shouldn't even be in there.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, and
yeah.
there, so we've
I feel
seen some,
bad for 'em, you
we've
know,
seen
the
some of the
coaches.
training regimens, and it's like not even, it doesn't even touch ours. We've had people come in there and tell us that that's worse than boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about it is that what's it called? When we were at Golden Gloves, I had asked Coach. I was like, so all these coaches, I was like, have they all been pros? And she's like, no, some of them haven't even stepped in
The ring,
ring.
yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
absolutely crazy to me.
The
There's
harder
that-
you train, the easier the fight's gonna be.
Yeah,
Well,
That's why I
there's that one guy. He's probably about my age that he's a coach, and he's
Yeah.
really young, and he's got some good fighters, man. I really like how he
Oh
does his
yeah,
thing.
the guy.
From
Yeah,
Springfield, I think he
Mhm.
is.
Yeah,
Like,
Springfield Cobras.
Yeah, dude, they're
They're
super
good. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
good coach.
He's a good
those
coach.
youngins are dangerous.
He's probably a good
fighters.
fighter as well. Does he
Yeah.
fight? Do you guys
I
know if
don't think he
fights?
fights. I think he has fought, but I don't think he fights anymore. I think he's more of a coach.
Yeah,
now.
well, he's got his young ones. His young guys are
Mm.
crazy good. They're pretty decent for sure.
So Henry, what about you?
Well, I got a fight coming up.
How many
This
fights have you had? 2 or 3?
this will be my 4th fight.
Yeah.
I've already had 3.
Oh, Henry's making his way up. He's about to be
Yeah.
out. He's about to be
Yeah.
open
Yeah,
soon.
so I'm excited. I've really been training hard for this next coming up fight.
Fights,
Hey,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I'm pretty dang sure I got this next fight
Oh,
because I've been sparring. I've sparring a lot this week, but I'm snappy. I'm a lot quicker. I'm focused too. I'm really zoned in. I sparred today against one of the pros, and my punches were so
Because you
fast.
ain't had that woman over here spend the night with you. That's
What's it called, though? But I was going up against one of the pros today, and my punches were so quick and so snappy and he didn't want to sit there and brawl with me, so he had to keep hitting me with body shots to knock me down.
speed up. He had to
Yeah.
really speed up.
I mean,
Well, you
yeah.
remember the last time you sparred him, you were like, oh, like you kind of you.
I mean, I felt like he beat me up. Like it was bad last time, but this time when I sparred him tonight, he said I've definitely made a lot of progress, and I have a lot more cardio because I've been doing my miles
Yeah,
like every
great.
single
Yeah, I mean,
day.
the last
Yeah.
time you went there was April. It's like it's been a month, and you improved like that.
Yeah.
You know.
So, but I got my next fight coming up. I'm excited. It's next weekend. So, my last few fights, my last 2 fights I had lost, and I think it really has a lot to do with I really wasn't focused on it. I wasn't putting in the work like I should have been. My first one I won. Because I didn't know what to expect. I was just like, go in there and just
Kill
fight
him,
for your
yeah.
life, you know. But now I'm a lot more calm. I'm a lot more focused. I think that this next fight's going to be a really, really good one.
Well, what's crazy is that like actually all 3 of our fights were stopped in the second round under different circumstances, but all 3 of our first fights were actually stopped in the second round.
yeah.
Henry won
Yeah,
from
Frank's went to 3 rounds.
all 3 rounds. Yeah. So Frank's been the lucky one to actually survive all 3 rounds.
And then, so my first fight I won by TKO. My second fight, I just wasn't aggressive enough. And it was against Munaz Shahid.
oh yeah,
He had a lot of experience though. He was like,
Yeah.
he didn't work me over like he did the dude he fought the day before.
Yeah.
The dude he fought the day before, when he got punched, he was just like,
yeah,
up, you know, like
buckling
just
up,
getting
like-
hit. But whenever I went up against him, it was just a kind of slow,
Yeah.
kind of not a whole lot of action. I remember feeling awful after that fight because I didn't really do much. I didn't go after him. And then my last fight was against Sam Nix. And the first round I was dominating. I was slip game like crazy. But once I got hit, I was like, oh, it doesn't hurt. So I lost my slipping, and then I started getting hit with some bombs. And then I wasn't exchanging enough. I wasn't gassed out really, but at the beginning of the third round, I was pretty tired. So I just fought with heart. I just had to dig and fight really hard. I think this next fight, I'm gonna be able to fight all 3 rounds just easily without getting gassed out because I've really been training hard.
That's really where you want to be. You want to be able to go in and just smoke all 3
Yeah.
rounds.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what it's gonna. I mean, if we go all 3,
That's what I was gonna say.
If he can keep,
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, man.
But I will say this: he's 0-5, so I'm sure he's got to have some sort of heart if he's still going. You know.
Yeah.
Apparently he's just got back in the gym, so I've been going. So I mean, I'm ready.
Hungry.
I'm ready for a fight. You
He's
know,
ready
I'm
for it.
excited. You know,
Yeah,
I hope
he's
he
hungry,
brings it.
man.
I hope he brings
He's
us all.
hungrier, you know.
Pero tiene hambre.
Yeah, what weight are you fighting at?
He's gonna be 142. I'll be 147.
Yeah.
I'm 151 right now, so I only got to lose like 4 pounds. Which
Yeah, okay.
I could lose that by sweating.
Yeah,
It
you've
ain't
been
nothing to
you've
me.
been sitting on your weight.
Yeah, it's easy. You know, it hasn't been hard at all. But I'm excited. I'm ready. And what I want to do with this box of stuff, I want to take it professionally and become one of the greatest. You know, because I am good enough to do that.
It's
Right
funny 'cause
here on Mark's Inspirational Podcast here
Calling it.
today.
It's
Calling
funny
it
because
right
I
now.
always teeter-totter between 118 and 120.
Yeah,
Always.
that's
It's
good.
just-
That's
those, like, the
you know
weights I
me.
teeter-totter.
I gotta drop down to 120s. That's where I want to be fighting.
Up first, what I'd like to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Well,
I think we can make that
it'll
work.
Be, next Saturday is when I fight. So
So tune in.
Mhm.
We'll make it work. We can make it happen.
I don't know if my camera's gonna, my setup's gonna work.
Yeah,
for
even
me.
though
think we
I
will.
won't be able to fight, you know, there might be an opponent who I might fight there. So you know, it's
Yeah. Be able to
good way
watch
to
them.
observe
You're
and
gonna-
see what they're gonna come.
Yeah,
with.
you're not gonna fight.
No, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
fight. But if there is an opponent who's in my weight class,
yeah,
I'll be able to,
always
you
watch
know,
the people that are fighting in your weight class because
Yeah.
eventually you'll be fighting them too.
mhm.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys that I fought, the last probably 2 guys that I fought recently, they're probably getting there to the point where they're about to be an open division. So next time I fight them, I'll have to be when I'm open in
Yeah.
open division.
Well, let's
That'd be-
talk about the benefits. How do you guys feel when you're out in general public and around people and socializing now that you started fighting?
Oh man,
More
actually, it's
confidence, or do you
Yeah.
feel, how do you feel?
as a matter of fact, it's really funny that you said that because when me, Henry, and Mark went to the fair and we were walking right next to each other, everybody was getting out of our way.
Yeah.
Everybody was moving out of the way. It's like, you know, we don't have to tell somebody like, excuse me. It's like with the way we walk, you know, and like the what's it called, the mojo we walk around, and people,
The
you know.
Well, we were-
air of confidence.
We were
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
we were standing at the fair. All 3 of us were standing together in a group just having a conversation. And this guy that we know, he comes up to us and he goes, "Oh, there goes the Fight Club." That's what they say. You know,
Yeah.
people recognize that.
People
you
know, and you know,
And we fight for real. Like
Yeah.
I've been going to the gym pretty much like for over a year now, and I'm not every single day, but every week I've gone
Yeah.
at least one day. you
yeah,
know?
no, I mean that's the thing about it too. It's like I said, not for money, but we do this for a living. Like we love this is something that
Yeah.
we picked
Yeah.
up, but it's in our blood.
Sometimes
You
I always
know?
hear people like, I'll be hanging out with a group of friends. They're like, "Oh, this is nice. We should get some gloves to spar," but nobody ever asks me
No,
to spar.
yeah,
No
no.
one
Well, the
will
thing is,
ask you to spar.
What's
They know you
nice too
box.
is that when you're walking around and you're with people that don't know how to fight or whatever, you know that you can protect them,
Yeah.
especially like I don't know, like let's say some of the girls that we hang out with, or like for example, Mark's got a kid. I know Mark feels that good because he can protect his kid with his hands. He doesn't
Yeah.
have to
Yeah,
worry
have-
about
I
calling
have
the police.
and
or something,
protection.
you know?
I mean, like you said, people have told you that they never didn't feel safe around you. I've always been that protector of my friends up until now. I truly feel like that's what I am and how I do because I've taken the time out of my day to do it. And also people respect you because you're disciplined and you're committed to something. So it's not just like, oh, he can fight. No, it's like, oh, he's doing
Yeah,
something.
it takes
He's-
a lot of courage again. It's like I told you guys about the little clip I saw with the delivery guy and he's being attacked by somebody. He's saying, "Siri, call 911." He's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
by the
man.
time- and he's getting beat up out
Yeah.
there. It's like if you don't know how to protect your Siri, the police are not going to get
Yeah.
there like this.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
you better
gotta-
know
You
something.
got to be able to
It's
fight for your life.
Yeah.
going to be time. Yeah.
Another thing I was gonna say is I got about 6 more weeks to recover before I spar this guy and kick his butt.
My neck will be good by
Well,
then.
yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. People are like, "Oh, well, where do you live?" It's like, well, we live in a very safe place, fortunately, to where we don't have to always worry about that. But if it's all come to worse, you're prepared, you're ready, you can take care of yourself. And ever since we did start boxing, it's not about who we can whoop and stuff. I felt more confident walking into a room or even walking in certain parts or certain places with you guys than I do with anybody else.
That's why I try to tell people, if you can fight, there's just something, and you have a different air about you.
Well, and that's the thing too. I've noticed that ever since I learned how to actually fight, I get in less fights. Because I don't want to fight as much. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to score up, I'm down with that.
Right, 100%.
But I don't go out there looking for it like I used to, because I'm in the gym fighting.
Way. Yeah, if I'm boxing or if I'm fighting or sparring, anyways, you can almost say anything to me. I don't care.
Yeah,
well,
it's like,
and I mean, because here's the thing. I mean, even then, it's like you look back and you're like, oh, well, I got more patience than that. And unless they're really coming at you, you don't even have to do anything, And we knew that from you. I'm like, Dad, do you fight people? When I was younger, I'm like, do you still fight people? You're like, no. Like, I boxed. He's like, I don't pick fights no more. And I'm like, what do you mean? But then I got older, started doing boxing myself, and I used to always try to pick fights with people just all the time, just impulsively. But now it's like, okay, well, like you said, it's kind of sometimes people will say some stuff and I'll like look at them sideways, but for the most part, like it's easier to walk away. It's helped me mature and grow and everything.
Sometimes your reputation will protect you. People won't mess with you because of it. And sometimes people want to try you because if they can whip you, it'll make them. If they lose, it's like, oh, well, no, he was a fighter. So it's like they feel like they have nothing to lose.
He's had plenty of people try to be like, oh, don't mess with Henry.
I've been to a few parties where people have said something and just talk to me sideways, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Just instead of, because I don't care. I'm not, you can talk your crap or whatever, but don't try to start fighting me, because I can actually real deal fight. I deal fight. I do this for real. I don't just go out there and fight people on the street. I know how to real deal fight.
I do this for a living. It's the art of
right.
And I was gonna say, I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. Ever since I started boxing too, it's helped me get, like, I've stayed out of trouble as well. Like,
kept me out of
like, for example, before I started fighting, I got in trouble twice. Actually, I got caught drinking and driving, and I got in trouble with that stuff for a while.
D-dub.
Yeah, I got one D-dub, and then and then I started boxing, and I was sober like for the first like couple months that I started boxing. It really got me out of trouble, and then I could notice that a couple times I almost started falling back into my bad habits, but it's kept me out of
women.
Well, that's the thing too. If you're chasing women, it can get you in certain situations as well.
Yeah,
but it's really kept me out of
Tyson, Tommy. Who's the guy? Tommy, the big heavyweight. Tommy.
Oh, Fury.
No, Tommy. It's a white guy. Tommy.
He's literally describing.
He played in the movie with Sylvester Stallone. He played in one. Tommy Morrison. But anyway, I think women. He got It's been a
You really gotta focus on
chasing this dream.
Going after.
Not even chasing the dream.
Because what happens is
pursuing it.
When you're doing something that you truly care about, you'll have people that are naturally attracted to you, especially women, when it comes to a boxing sport, and they can either help you or they can become a distraction.
Yeah, they make you a break.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time too, you get to decide that. It's not like they're just gonna come out of nowhere and then they're just wreck your life. You're the one choosing to make that decision. So
for sure.
It's completely up to you.
But if people stay tuned, where you be ready for more fights, more podcasts about the fights and everything.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. We've got things we got to do, and you may want to join us next Saturday about 7 o'clock or 7:30. We may go live in Jeff City to
I'll be fighting.
Watch Henry fight, see how that comes out. We know
and you get to watch
victorious.
You get to watch some other fights, whatever fights are there, until
Jason's fighting as well.
Oh, Jason is fighting as well. So another teammate of ours.
All right, sounds good. So like and subscribe, share this with a friend, and we will see you next Saturday. Take care.
Deuces.
You know how it is.